What's up, guys? I want to show you this birdhouse that my son and I have been working on. So he and I built this birdhouse in his class. Like, I swear it must have been, it was easily 2 years ago. It might have been 3 years ago, actually, now that I think about it, because he's in 4th grade now. I'm pretty sure we built it when he was in 1st grade. He's a big Buffalo Bills fan, and so we built this part of it, and obviously, you know, you can see it was prefabricated. Came with pieces of wood that had slits cut in them, and then these pegs, and the pegs fit in the slits, and it's nice and simple. And then a couple holes here that you tie a string through, and then you're supposed to hang it from a tree branch or something like that. But it yielded absolutely zero results. We put some bird seed in there, and no birds ever came. But it's important to point out what this thing looked like beforehand. So this perch was not here, none of this other stuff was here, and this hole was literally about half as big. So you can see that my son and I both did this, and I think it actually kind of looks cool. Like, it's not a perfect round hole, it's just like, but you know, he and I worked on it together, and we just kind of took a drill bit and just kind of made it a lot bigger, so the birds around here can actually fit in there. And then another thing that we did was we took this thicker piece of wood right here and glued this whole thing on top of it. And then I took a paint stirrer and I cut it up, and we glued the different pieces of the paint stirrer on here, so this serves as a dish, and we're going to fill this up with bird seed. We drilled a hole here and put a perch, glued a perch in there, and then we did the same here, here, and here. And now with the fact that a bird can actually fit in here, we can put seeds in here, and then with those two additions, well, and also with the perches, we think that we're actually going to get birds. Not necessarily a bird that's going to live in here, although that would be nice. We're going to get birds that are going to come visit this feeder and actually feed from it. Now, a big reason why we put this thicker chunk of wood at the bottom is because we're going to screw this, excuse me, we're going to screw this L bracket onto the bottom of the birdhouse. And once we get this part screwed onto the bottom of the birdhouse, we're going to screw this part obviously onto the tree, and it's going to be very sturdy. And with it being sturdy like that, it's not going to move around. And obviously, when this was here, just dangling from a dangling from a branch, obviously you can see what happens. It just gets blown around by the wind. And again, a very unstable situation. Another reason why a bird wouldn't really want to hang out in this thing. So we have no need for this string anymore. I'm going to wait for my son to get home from school, because we were just letting the glue dry today. And tomorrow will probably be the final test, because he's going to get home and we're going to work on this and then fill it up with bird seed. And then the birds usually go to bed once the sun goes down, and the sun's going down pretty early in the day nowadays. So tomorrow we'll be able to see the final product. But interesting thing about this, why this looks the way it does, I drilled the hole too big for this. So this is a 5/16 dowel rod, and I accidentally used a 3/8 drill bit, and this is the first one that I did, and the other ones fit just fine, but this one didn't fit. So what I did, because I couldn't make the hole smaller, I took tiny little pieces of I broke off tiny little pieces of toothpicks, and I glued them around the outside of this dowel rod to make it wider. So you can see over here, I got the toothpicks. I broke a bunch of them off just to make that wider, and then once it snugly fit into the hole, then we went ahead and we glued that, and then we didn't make the same mistake down here with these holes that we drilled. But anyway, I'm really hoping that this is going to yield some good results. Of course, you got Josh Allen, number 17 here. You got Buffalo Bills. He was a huge Bills fan back when he made this, and he still is a Buffalo Bills fan. So, so that's our Buffalo Bills birdhouse slash bird feeder. I think it's going to be more of a bird feeder than a birdhouse because I can't necessarily see a bird living inside here, especially if other birds are visiting this thing all the time and feeding off of it. So anyway, I'll keep you guys up to date on how it goes.